At Purdue, member of the Boilermakers Hall of Fame, first time to come back as a head coach, bringing her Mavericks to see where she played. Ella Brow from outside for the Mavericks, for the Mustangs rather. She had 14 last time out for SMU.
Yeah, got the start today, so big deal for her to be able to be in the lineup, to be able to show what she can do as she's coming off injury, has been playing lights out.
We saw Clark with the 3-ball last trip down. Now she gets one from inside. Clark closing in on 1,000 career points. 15-9, the UTA advantage knocked away by Brittingham. It'll stay with SMU.
Yeah, you just love the energy. This game means so much to the Mavericks. You can see their bench definitely standing ovation for a tip ball out of bounds. That's how you can tell it means something.
Brow works inside the pit, but getting in the way, it's Love.
Listen, I know Love said she was in the gym early doing shots at 5 a.m. last year. She might have been playing some flag football or some pickup football with the fellas or something. I don't know, because she is anticipating passes in the air like no other. Already at her above her season average at 3 in just the first quarter.
That's what's so remarkable about this. After sitting out a full year, you would think it would take some time to get her sea legs as Peterson knocks this one away, but right back to the Mavericks and Brittingham, and one.
Brittingham is coming in on a mission. She has been it since the beginning. She's had the look of focus, the eye of the tiger, if you will, and what a great acrobatic finish, getting the bucket to go and the foul, earns a trip to the line, and the Mavericks continuing to surge. 5 of their last 7, lead almost close to 10. If she can make a free throw, it's right at 9, so great start for the Mavs.
Preseason All-Western Athletic Conference selection after making All-WAC second team and All-WAC tournament team last year for UTA. Transfer from Stephen F. Austin. UTA lead now 18-9. 3:15 to go, opening quarter. Robertson trying to work it inside. Gets it to Pitts. Pitts going baseline, lifts, missing, battling down low. Embry gets the board. Brittingham pulls it down after the second chance.
Yeah, they play such a similar game inside. The physicality, the challenge of every shot. SMU not used to getting a taste of their own medicine, and been a good look by defense by the Mavs so far.
Talia Clark meets resistance and will have to earn it at the free throw line.
And the one thing for SMU, just take your time. I feel like there's a little bit of rush. UTA threw the first punch. SMU's kind of reeling, getting their balance again, and just taking your time. A foul like they just had on that possession. Clark, that's not necessarily her game to shoot a hook shot in the paint. No need to foul her there. Just be solid, wall up, get a rebound. But good job by UTA. Again, continuing to press the issue to get to the paint, get to the ACC, get to that area, and then just see what can happen from there.
Clark misses on the front end. She's already bested her total from UTA's last game. She scored 4, and now up to 6.
This is where you get the last 7 shots. 5 of 7 for UTA, 1 of 7 for SMU. Need to get a high percentage shot on this possession, taking your time, being able to get exactly what you want.
10-point UTA lead on the road at SMU. Pitts gets it knocked away by Love.
Great drive, too, by the way.
Takes it all the way herself for the bucket.
Yeah, she's got that look as well. She's the unfazed. Great defense by UTA, by Clark poking it out. Good steal, and another. The active hands continue.
An 8-0 run for UTA over the last 97 seconds. They give it away this time.
Yeah, UTA just playing as the tougher, more aggressive team to start the game. SMU maybe didn't have the game circled quite as much as UTA did. You can kind of feel that energy coming from, and that extra edge coming from UTA. SMU won a couple games in a row. Definitely has the talent. They have the home court advantage, but got to get some of that turkey and stuffing out of them so they can move a little bit faster and with a little more urgency.
Jones, under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Pulls up, trying to find a teammate, gets it to Brow, right wing triple, no good.
And here's what you need. You have the number 6 leading scorer in the country in Robertson. This is where she has to establish herself better. I know she didn't start the game for whatever reason, but it's important for her as the scorer that she is. Get active, get involved. Good. Get some stops and then play in transition.
Godot has it knocked away by Peterson. Can SMU make something of this trip down the floor to Peterson in the painted area? It's good, and finally SMU ends a scoring drought that lasted 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was another assist for Ella Brow. 3 assists on 4 of the baskets made. So she has been a huge key of, in the other basket, she made it, so she couldn't assist it.
The lead has been trimmed to 10 for the Mavericks. They'll get a second chance on this trip.
Yeah, something coaches always track, 50-50 balls. Who's going to come up with that ball that could go either way?
Nailson from the top of the key, no good. Here's Robertson. She'll take it herself with the finger roll. Cutting the deficit to single digits.
Yep, last time she had that opportunity, she did not make it. Big play right there, good stop. This is SMU basketball, getting out and running in transition, playing fast, getting some of those easy ones so you can get your confidence. Great job ending the quarter. Can they now end it on a stop, or does UTA get one more?
21 seconds to go, and Clark is up to 8 points on the quarter.
Clark is flat out hooping. Came off the bench with a 3. A foul got to the line, and now a great drive.
Jones pulls up from inside the three-point line. Can't hit. Peterson there. Whistle comes on the floor.
Peterson is a beast on the glass. Another offensive rebound. I hate that she was out of bounds, because anyone that's giving that kind of effort, you want to see them rewarded.
UTA rolling it up slowly with under 3 seconds to go. Firing from half court. Robinson off the backboard.
Experience out on the court makes up for it. We can see that right now. She has 7 points and 2 steals, Chris and Brian.
Yeah, and Bree, we talked about how much this game matters to UTA as a whole to go across town to Dallas as they rip off the ball near midcourt. Knocked away, though, by Robertson. The Mustangs are running. Marshall into the game. Peterson on the second chance, no good. Robertson from the outside. Mustangs keep it. Ella Brow firing it over to Jones. Now inside all alone, it's Peterson. Gets the roll.
The best part about that possession, it was multiple players for SMU giving extra effort, and they won the 50-50 balls on multiple occasions in that one possession. That is a small taste of what they have to play like the rest of the way. And here you see a steal as that momentum continues.
Strong start for SMU. Entered the quarter down by 10. Robertson from long distance, not strong enough.
Peterson continuing to get on the glass, now with her 4th offensive rebound.
Thornton to Brittingham, working it inside. Whistle comes on the floor as UT Arlington can't score on the steal to start the quarter. Big, smacked away, and then inside, Peterson creating some distance.
Yeah, we say it so often with this team, with SMU, defense leading to offense. Getting it done on the defensive end that leads to easier baskets on the offensive side of the ball.
Love gets it to go, and she's up to 8 points. Leading all scorers in this game.
And she's already putting her hands up like one of those nights. The face-up jumper. So much versatility with this young woman.
And how much she values every opportunity. We talked about it off the top. Jones gets the bucket for the Mustangs, but in having a brief conversation with Love before the game, just the opportunity to chat with our ACC network team meant the world to her, part of this journey back to prominence.
Yeah, it's a lot different than hanging out with whoever might be in the rec when she's leaving. There's no one there when she gets there at 5 a.m.
There's no Bree Sorensen hanging out in the rec wanting to interview you before the game starts.
And then when you're leaving, it might be, somebody else that's just a regular student. Like, hey, you play ball on the team, and then you got to say that you don't. So, yeah, she's loving every bit of this opportunity. And Great job again by SMU, getting some stops now, starting to get some steals. Jones with a good pickpocket, diving on the floor, first to the floor, showing that sense of urgency with her veteran leadership, transferring over from Villanova.
Brown outside. Mustangs can't get that one to fall, and Love gets the board.
Getting quality shots, though, SMU is getting more shots that they want. Can they continue to string together stops?
Love from outside. Off the front of the iron, and now the Mustangs pushing the pace. Jones pulls up, back outside to Brow. Brow rattles out. Offensive board again pulled down by SMU.
I say, guess who? Peterson.
Yep.
One of the top rebounders that you will see play. Dominates the offensive glass. Great ball movement. Rewarding.
And that offensive board turns into points for SMU. Mustangs leading on the offensive glass, 7-2. Now within 5 points of the Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean, again, Peterson has been the story, along with Ella Brow, doing all the little things. Those two are the glue so far in this game.
Inside, Love against Pitts, calling for the foul, does not get it. Brow pitching it out to Jones, taking her time instead of pulling up from distance. Jones drives back outside to Robertson. Robertson from the left wing. Whistle comes as the ball goes into Pitt's hands. And the ball will return to UT Arlington.
Yeah, I mean, look at the pass. Inside out. That's the best way you want to play basketball, the best way you want to take threes, and the best way to get your shooter and your leading scorer going, get an easy look. Peterson with a great outside pass. The possession before that even, the crowd wanted Jones to take that three. She turns it down and rewards her leading scorer with another open look. So SMU playing some great basketball. Mavericks had the early start, but now it has been SMU in this quarter leading the way.
Here's Clark driving inside. Brittingham quickly down low to Nelson. Knocked away. Scramble for the ball on the floor. It's a travel. Mustangs basketball.
Yeah, they're starting to feel the crowd energy now. They're feeding off of each other. You see multiple deflections, steals, strips. I mean, just great, again, little things, the intangible things, the things that Coach Wilson and her staff rave about is deflections, energy plays. SMU starting to play it exactly the way their head coach wants them to.
Ella Brow inside. Embry nearly had it knocked away by Brittingham. Regains control. Brow driving, cutting through two defenders. Whistle comes, and SMU will have a chance from the line.
Well, you'll see this from UTA quite a bit, the changing of defenses. They talked about that being an important strategy. Coach Wilson talked about that they need to make sure they adjust as they change their defenses. They've been in man. They've already gotten several steals out of that. Now they've showed zone that last possession, so just something to keep an eye on.
And check that. The foul is on the floor. Mustangs inbound from underneath their own basket, and quickly another whistle comes.
So me personally, I like this part of Robertson's game because she has so much gravity as a three-point shooter, meaning people want to run to her, people want to close out hard to her. Use your speed and your dynamic explosiveness to draw fouls and attack off the bounce too.
Now inbounding from just in front of Coach Wright. SMU trailing by 5. 6 minutes left in the opening half. Robertson gets a floater. Can't go. Pitts there for the second chance. No good. And UTA comes down with the board. It's Brittingham.
Yeah, credit UTA. As much effort as SMU is giving, they are finally finding a way to get to stops. They haven't scored the last 3 minutes. Important offensive possessions and another turnover.
UTA gives it away for the 8th time tonight. SMU has 7 turnovers thus far.
SMU leads this quarter 7-2. They've turned them over 3 times, kept them scoreless. Can they continue this run and build on the momentum of the effort and 50-50 plays that they've been making?
Robertson pulls up and hits. Nothing but nets. SMU is within 3.
Yeah, a good sign for SMU when she plays inside the arc as well. Doesn't just settle for threes. Great drive and pull up.
Brittingham, she's up to 9 points, ending a 7-0 run by the Ponies.
Hey, if there was anybody that was going to end the drought, it was going to be their returner and their leader, their most vocal player on the squad. She set the tone from the beginning.
Jones Off the iron and the backboard. Scrambling for it, Pitts. And the whistle coming against Clark. UTA ended the first quarter leading by 10. Now by 5. SMU with the basketball. 5 minutes and 1 second remaining in the second quarter.
I think SMU thought the game started at 7:15 or 7:20. Didn't realize it started at 7.
Embry fumbling the ball, gets it back, puts it up, and Brittingham's there to pull it down. Here's Coy Love, 8 points. Ball off hands. It'll stay with the Mavericks after the break. It's a 5-point lead for UTA. Mavericks looking for their 5th straight win in the series with Mustangs. Toyelle Wilson in her 4th season as the head coach of SMU. She's in that huddle right now, talking to her in pregame. Said the team had to practice yesterday, of course, get ready to take care of the business at hand, but did get to enjoy a Thanksgiving lunch together. She is thankful to be at SMU and around these amazing student athletes and her staff.
Yeah, I mean, just you can't get probably as many championships as she's won if you look at her resume. 14 of 15 championships over the course of her career as a head coach, as an assistant, as high as being a national champion at Baylor, being a conference champion when she was a head coach at Prairie View 3 times. So knows winning very well.
Love into Brittingham, and Brittingham will head to the free throw line after falling hard to the floor here at Moody.
Yeah, good baseline out of bounds play here. Just being able to get your leading scorer in this game to dive to the basket on a great design play. She's 4 of 5. Again, has really set the tone from the beginning of this game and hasn't gotten too high, but you can tell she's not only played in this game before, she's won this game before. She's come in with confidence and a swagger that says, hey, we're going to do this like we always do it. To her, that's all she knows.
And we talked so much in the first quarter and early on about what this means to UT Arlington to come to SMU, this game in the Metroplex against a Power 4 team. But for individuals like Brittingham, who grew up in Fort Worth, had dreams of coming potentially to SMU, now getting a chance to play on this floor. Really special, really meaningful. Coming up on 4.5 minutes to go.
Well, I think the part for SMU, too, is just so different. Nice pass to the corner. Exactly what they needed from Embry. She's played with some physicality inside. Didn't get the first one to go, but that's a huge shot just to get their confidence going. But going back to SMU, it's a different role. You're the hunted in a different way now. You're not necessarily used to that, being the hunted. You're more so used to being a hunter, playing against bigger schools. But great pass by Jones, finding the sharpshooter in the corner.
And as the new team on the block, when they get to ACC play, SMU will be the hunter after those established dominant teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference. But tonight, it's the UTA Mavericks trying to knock off the big dog in the Metroplex, the SMU Mustangs.
Yeah, I love the ball movement. Great job the last two possessions. Didn't make both. Made the one with Embry, of course, but great ball movement by SMU.
UTA gets it to fall, goes high off the back iron, and Robinson has her first bucket.
And quiet in this quarter they had been, but now they are exploding with offense. And speaking of exploding, a fast break after a make, and it didn't even matter the numbers. I'm taking it anyway. That's what you love about this young lady's game. She can really fill it up from three, but she has speed to be able to knife to the basket more often, in my opinion, than she does just like that.
Big night for Robertson as she had her 1,000 career point commemorative basketball presented to her in pregame, already up to 9 tonight. Can't get it to 11 as that one is knocked away. Inside to Brittingham, fading away off the iron.
Good job by Embry there, walling up at the last minute. Took away what looked like it was a wide open shot.
Jones on the right side of the lane, back out to Robertson. Robertson thinking about it. Long pass to Pitts. Pitts moving inside, facing numbers. Peterson has it knocked away by Love, but it'll stay with SMU with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Coming up on 2.5 minutes to go, Moody Coliseum in Dallas, Texas. Chris Mykoski alongside Coach Brian Burton and Bree Sorensen. Sheridan McGrew leading our team behind the scenes on Black Friday on ACC Network Extra. Inbounding in front of the UT Arlington bench. 6 seconds on the shot clock now. SMU needs to hurry. Robertson.
Yeah, I was just going to mention they are in the bonus, so really important for them to be more aggressive, especially at the late clock situations, to get to the foul line. And Robertson, being the prolific-ish scorer that she is, she's on her way to prolific. She's not quite there yet, Chris, but one of the top scorers in the nation. Scored, as you mentioned, 1,000 points already. She's grown up knowing about both of these programs. Went away, played in the Atlantic 10 for a couple seasons, has now come back, and she is on fire so far for SMU and really helps change the pace of how they want to play. More to Coach Toya Wilson's liking, to be able to play faster, playing up tempo, both defensively and offensively. And again, you get a shooter and a scorer to get easy baskets at the foul line. That's only problem for the opponents because they get confidence seeing the ball go in.
4-point Maverick lead. Under 2.5 minutes to go. Thornton over to Hayslip. Now Perkins, and Thornton, ball back in her hands. Working around, quick pass to Love. Bounce over to Perkins. And it'll be Maria Perkins heading to the free throw line for UT Arlington, the sophomore from right here in Dallas.
I mean, Love just continues to show off her versatility as a player. Defensively has been locked in. We've talked about the steals. She's been able to almost score double figures with her 8 points, but 3 assists on the evening to go with it. That was a great interior pass there, just showing the unselfishness to figure out how to help her team win.
Jemiah Perry checks in for UT Arlington with Perkins at the line. You know the name. Her dad, Sam, finished with over 15,000 points and nearly 8,000 rebounds in the NBA after his career at North Carolina.
Yeah, another Dallas product, Boswell High School. Just a sophomore.
Missing both at the line, and Jones gets some contact as she goes up.
Well, you can see the
whistles.
Yeah, you can see the consistent theme. I mean, the last 3 possessions we've had fouls called, and we're getting to the foul line. So now with both teams in the bonus, both teams love to be able to score in the paint. Who's going to make the defensive adjustment to keep the other team out of the paint or off of the glass to make outside shooting have to be a part of the game again? But Jones has been really good in this game. She's been able to get to the paint, got an early bucket early on, and has found teammates, has gotten steals. Again, her veteran leadership as a graduate transfer has been significant. Coach Toya Wilson so excited that they were able to sign her in the transfer portal as having leadership who's played in a power conference for basketball, and they are excited about what Jones can bring on both sides of the ball.
And Brittingham has it knocked away. SMU can potentially tie on this trip down the floor.
And on cue, Jones is the one who forced that steal.
Jones driving against Perkins, pulls it up and over to Brown. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Back out to Embry from long range. No good. It would have tied the game.
Yeah, the way Jones and Ella Brow are creating for teammates has been awesome to see. And again, the defensive pressure, dead ball turnover, but SMU doesn't care. They'll take a turnover either way. That means they don't get a shot up. Again, 17. First quarter, UTA plus 10, 23-13. Second quarter so far, SMU 17-10, plus 7. So they definitely stepped up their game, and they've held UTA to a scoring drought of the last 2 minutes, Chris. Here you see a zone defense, kind of like we talked about. Are they going to be able to slow down the foul calls? Can they force a perimeter jump shot? Possibly.
Inside to Embry, working hard against Perry to pull the Mustangs within 1 point.
So what about your zone? Ella with another assist inside to Embry. Embry, again, playing with the force and physicality. She has done that all season long. Big-time finish.
Clark, long range, short. Embry pulls down the board. SMU with 48 seconds to go can take the lead on this trip down, and the Mustangs do.
Big play. The defense continues, and Robertson, I think she even said, oh my God, when she made that. 1-on-3, doesn't matter, her speed takes over.
First lead of the night for SMU. 34-33. 20 seconds left, and Embry knocks it free. Robertson will slow it down. The shot clock is off. 10 seconds left. Robertson taking her time at midcourt. Robertson pulls up. Left side of the key, no good.
A team that could potentially play in the NCAA tournament, it feels like an NCAA tournament game. It feels like you're playing in March to be able to get what people would call an upset to play against a power conference school. So anytime you get that, and you add the fact that it's right down the street, up the road, oh yeah, they're definitely all circling this one as one that they want. But SMU says, we have something to say about that as that 9-0 run looks like it's starting with a steal to start the half.
Brow to Robertson, left wing triple, good to begin the third quarter.
And I love the start of it. Defense again, the stop leading the transition. The 5th assist for the game for Brow, and another three-pointer by Robertson. I love that she took her time on that one and didn't rush it.
To the outside for Aubrey Reed. Cannot match SMU from beyond the arc. Robertson off the bottom of the backboard. Brittingham eventually gets the ball in her hands. UT Arlington came into the night with a three-point shooting percentage of 14.8. So far tonight, 16.7.
Yeah, just 13 on the year, and one of those is from tonight. So shooting from the outside, definitely not a strong suit of the Mavericks.
Off the mark by Nelson, and that's not to say UTA can't win as Robertson hits from just inside the three-point line. They beat East Texas A&M on the road, shooting only 9% from three. So working all the other aspects of their game, they don't necessarily need to be good from outside the arc. But they'd like to be.
And if they can't be, they have to make sure to be better at SMU's game than SMU is. And it takes plays like that, diving on the floor, getting offensive rebounds. It's going to have to be a gritty type of game if you're going to beat this SMU squad.
6-point SMU advantage in Moody.
SMU football team has won the ACC championship. Our first season in the ACC has us traveling to Charlotte, North Carolina to face the Clips of Miami, and they need you.
So we'll be going to the monitor to view the shot clock.
SMU Mustangs.com/tickets to ensure you're in the SMU fan section. Catch your Mustangs in Charlotte next Saturday, December 7th, by scanning the QR code on the video board now.
The shot clock remains 30 seconds.
Hundreds of families were able to have turkey on the table for Thanksgiving thanks to the SMU women's basketball meal giveaway at South Oak Cliff High School, where the teams gave away over 600 meals. Coach Wilson said she wants to teach the team to be good citizens in the world after they're done playing basketball. She said it's so important to give back to the community who does so much for us. But Chris and Brian, speaking of Thanksgiving meals, our amazing producer Sheridan McGrew put together some of our broadcast team's favorite Thanksgiving dishes. Don't call me boring, but you can't go wrong with a classic mashed potato with lots of butter, okay?
Cajun fried turkey every year now in my house. We've got to go get that. Went up to my friend Bruce Ludlow's place, put it down. Nobody got burned. Nobody got any trouble. That can be a problem.
Can be.
Cajun fried turkey.
I don't think Bree runs into the same thing with the mashed potatoes, but I want to hear more about these mashed potatoes. Are they special mashed potatoes? Are they going off the glass like right there? Like, what's going on with these mashed potatoes, Bree? We're going to have to break that down a little bit.
We did not have a potluck of leftovers before the game got started. After showing that, I think we need to correct this in future years.
Yes, I like the sound of that.
Post-Thanksgiving games, everybody on the crew brings in their favorite dish off that list. We got a 15-pound bird. We got plenty left over at my house, that's for sure. Brow gets it to go. Nice work on the left side.
Right hand on the left side, inside hand. Let's go. Love to see the highlights coming out the break.
Biggest lead of the night for SMU. 6 points. UTA trying to cut into it. Can't do so.
Well, I would like to see them go through Love a little bit more. You know how talented she is. You know how much she can score. Get her the ball in her sweet spot. You need baskets right now.
Peterson, top of the key, rolls in. She's up to 8.
SMU heard just talking about leftovers. They're getting the leftovers, the rolls. They're getting a little bit of everything. The bounces. Peterson showing her mid-range.
Love now inside, and UTA facing some trouble on that side of the floor and can't get the shot to go. SMU has made its last 3. Can't make it 4 straight, but we'll have a second chance. Back outside to Ella Brow. Coming off the bench every game this season until tonight. Earned the start after putting up 14 against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Brow, no good off to the right side.
UTA, can you slow things down and get the shot you want from who you want it from? Great defense again. The zone defense, that time they get able to just get a hand on the deflection.
Brown, nice pass to her right to Jones. Off the mark. And a whistle coming off the board as Brittingham brought that one in. Brittingham has 13 points. That leads UTA scores. Robertson, 18 points for SMU to lead all student athletes. TK Pitts re-enters.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the offense for SMU, but their defense has really slowed down and almost stopped this UTA team. They're on a 30-12 run since the second quarter has started. It's been a completely different game from the first quarter.
Brittingham working it over to Clark, and UTA cannot get a bucket here. The scoring drought now over 2 minutes for the Mavs. Forcing an offensive foul. The charge coming away from the ball in the lane as Brittingham hits the floor.
Brittingham, we talked about how much of a warrior she's been for the Mavericks. There you see her putting her body on the line to get her team another possession. Again, can they get a shot? Can they get a basket to go to end this scoring drought of the last 2.5 minutes?
Offensive foul was on Embry down low. Love was dominant in the early portion of this game, slowed down a bit. Thornton now with a chance, driving against a couple of Mustangs, knocked away, and SMU has the ball.
Just kind of driving and hoping for the best that time, I thought, not necessarily having a real plan, and it got caught in the air. UTA 0-4 so far in their last 4 field goals, and SMU defense continues to be stingy and stubborn to give nothing for the opponent.
Under 5 minutes left, third quarter. 43-35, Mustangs over the Mavericks. Peterson overthrows Embry. It'll be UT Arlington basketball when we return. Mavericks looking for their 5th straight win over SMU in this series, but now trail 43-35.
With just under 5 minutes left in the third quarter, SMU leads 43-35 over UT Arlington. Coach Wilson said the team follows by the acronym NOW, N-O-W, which stands for No Opportunity Wasted. She said their goal is that every time you step on the floor, practice, game, whenever, you don't use that opportunity to the best of their abilities. And now they definitely don't want to waste one of their biggest opportunities, and that's getting ready for ACC play here in just a few weeks. And you can see that out here tonight. These Mustangs have brought the energy since that second quarter.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Bree, and especially going into those big matchups you alluded to. Coming up next is at Missouri. SMU's first SEC ACC challenge. That's next Thursday in Columbia.
Well, I think you've started to see also this team is starting to get a little bit of momentum for how they want to play. Ella Brow starts the game, then TK Pitts doesn't start the half. They start with all three guards. So they're starting to learn even how to play within their roster of, hey, it doesn't matter. Whoever's playing well, we're going to go with that hot hand in this matchup. And they do have a lot of different versatility on the roster, whether it's speed, height, size. So again, the more games you play together, the thing about college basketball now, we're seeing it men's side, women's side. The preseason projections, the early polls, they don't necessarily matter because there's so many new players on every team. So different than what we're used to seeing when players would often return. Speaking of return, Shante Embry returns to the paint for another two.
7 points for Embry. It's now a 6-0 run for SMU. It has lasted the last 3.5 minutes, while UTA has missed its last 5 shots. This one is slowly getting away from them. And again, giving it up. UTA came in, Brian, as the Western Athletic Conference's leader in turnover margin. They had forced 104, made 72, but SMU is winning that battle so far tonight. Ball does stay with UTA this trip down.
Yeah, one of the keys to the game we talked about was the turnover margin, the rebounding, along with the points in the paint, and the differential, the bonus, was the three-point shooting. UTA has not been able to find the mark. And there you see the turnover right there, forced, and a tough jumper. Great job by by Jones getting back to take almost the charge on Love. There you see the turnover margin by the WAC. UT Arlington set the
top of the Western Athletic Conference. UTA, by the way, picked to finish third in the WAC this year. Grand Canyon is the favorite. Cal Baptist right behind them. Coach Sharika Wright making reference to how every single game in non-conference play is getting you ready for conference, and then it's getting ready for WAC Vegas, the Western Athletic Conference tournament out in Nevada, where this is a one-bid league. There's no way around that. UTA will need to be playing its best basketball come that 1 week in March.
And that's what you want to see right there. Speaking of playing your best basketball, you want to see your leading scorer diving on the floor for after the deflection to get the loose ball. Great execution by UTA, and a track meet back the other way.
Peterson off the glass on the second opportunity. Mustangs back up by 10. UTA needing to cut into the deficit with under 3 minutes to go in the third. That is a good start. Kendall Robinson.
Much needed basket right there from three. Just the 14th three-pointer on the season for UTA. Not something that they do very well, but they did it well in that possession and needed it desperately.
2 of 12 on the night from beyond the arc. For the season, shooting 14.8%. Toya Wilson knew that UTA getting hot from beyond that three-point line would cause problems. Not been an issue so far, but still over 12.5 minutes of basketball left to be played. We talked about the SEC ACC Challenge coming up next for SMU, traveling to Missouri next Thursday. Then the ACC schedule opens for the Mustangs against Florida State in Tallahassee before resuming non-conference play with a couple of big-time in-state foes in Texas Tech and North Texas, who won the American last year.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that schedule right there, and they are going to be tested by the time Christmas comes around. And this game is important for them. They've won 2 in a row. They already have the momentum from the second quarter on. They played some outstanding basketball. If they can continue to play this kind of a gritty style of play with defense and with offense and sharing the ball, they can win any of the games on that schedule playing the way that they're playing. Now, the difference is you do have to go on the road in 3 of the 5 of those. So playing on the road is a little different. You don't have the Moody Magic behind you. You don't have the crowd behind you. But the way that this team is playing under Toya Wilson is exactly how they need to play to continue to build that momentum.
I have no doubt that Mustang faithful will come out in force in Denton for those 2 games against UNT and Chicago State, though. Should be a pretty even crowd for Mustangs and Mean Green fans up there in Denton. Peterson gets the ball back and puts it in. 49-40 Mustangs.
Yeah, I cannot say enough about Peterson and her impact on this team. She has 14 rebounds in this game of the 34 that they have. And she is such a force, such great hands, too.
2 minutes left, and Clark not strong enough on that attempt. UTA has now made 2 of its last 10 from the field. Pitts is patient. Great job waiting on the defender to come down, putting it in, and giving the Mustangs their largest lead of the night at 11 points. Here's what's coming up for the Mavericks. A home game against Big 12 opponent Houston is Wednesday at College Park Center. Then a 12-day break before the WAC Conference USA Challenge at home against Florida International. See what's after that. A road trip down to San Antonio also before the end of the year. Arlington State will be the first opponent in the WAC just past New Year's Day. Mustangs and Mavericks on the day after Thanksgiving at Moody Coliseum in Dallas, Texas. ACC network coverage, Chris Mikoski, Brian Burton, Bree Sorensen, Sheridan McGrew leading our team behind the scenes.
Well, we mentioned the changing defenses for for UTA. SMU now showing continual zone defense looks to make UTA have to focus a little more on the perimeter, which they don't want to do. And good job changing strategy, adjusting as the game goes on, and a good stop right there.
On the offensive glass, SMU has been big lead tonight, 14-5. A lot of second chance opportunity. Don't need one on this trip down as Nya Jones gets it to go.
Yeah, awesome game for her. 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 points now in 23 minutes, just filling up the stat sheet. Again, she set an awesome tone defensively as well.
13-point SMU lead. 38 seconds left, third quarter. Brittingham against Pearson, and Peterson there for the block. And Robertson turning it in to 2 on the other end. Shot clock turned off for UTA.
Yeah, great job inside again. Peterson doing it on the defensive end, and Robertson doing what she does so well. A blur and transition, another easy layup.
Brittingham can't end the scoring drought. It's now lasted over 2.5 minutes for UT Arlington. 3 seconds left. Feed to Jones quickly before the buzzer. A 10 against the Cal Golden Bears. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central over at Gerald J. Ford Stadium.
When you talk about an unbelievable dream scenario, I don't even know if you could have dreamt it up this well for SMU football fans. To be in this position is absolutely incredible in first year.
Peterson, she has a double-double and add to it. Whistled for the offensive foul. Peterson is up to 16 rebounds, 12 points.
That was now 17 with that offensive rebound. It happened so fast. I was asked this question at halftime by one of the SMU alum greats on the men's side. He was the last player to average a double-double. He's curious if Peterson would be the only other player to average a double-double since his time playing. I won't give away the trivia of who that was, but he's sitting on the baseline wearing blue.
We've got a smart crew. They may find him for you.
We'll have to ask our sports information crew if they can find another Mustang, men or women, who's averaged a double-double.
SMU football, 2:30 tomorrow against Cal. Then SMU volleyball as UTA can't get the shot off before the buzzer. Busy day on campus here tomorrow. Football versus Cal, volleyball versus NC State follows at 7 o'clock. Those volleyball Mustangs looking forward to the NCAA selection show on Sunday, where there'll be a top 10 seed.
I mean, incredible. Top 10. Soccer, number 12. Football, top 10. I mean, you act like the SMU's acting like they've been here before. It's amazing what's happening on the hilltop, and basketball starting to get momentum themselves.
Leading 57-40 over UT Arlington.
I mean, let's just note this real quick for SMU's defense. 18% they've held UTA in the second half. Incredible defense, and since the second quarter, they've outscored them 44-17. A completely different ball game the last two quarters.
Nelson from the free throw line. 2 of 5 on the night now. Here's Robertson looking to add to her incredible evening. 20 points for Robertson. Ella Brow handing it off to Pitts. Right back into Robertson's hand. Driving, no good. Love on the move. 8 minutes to go. Love has it knocked free.
Well, the thing that makes this, again, we talked about the different lineups. Now they have 2 point guards in, Robertson in playing a smaller big guard, and then you have TK Pitts playing a forward. So you have nothing but speed on the lineup. In that last possession, the crowd wanted that layup to go, doing a little bit of dribble handoff with 5 out. Just makes this SMU lineup very hard to guard, and Coach Wilson showing her creativity with the lineups and the different ways that you can play and attack offensively.
Love will bring it in. Getting it to Hayslip. Unable to get it inside to Nelson. As SMU continues to cause some havoc. Robertson picking up the steal, a quick foul on Nelson. It's now 15 turnovers committed by UTA.
Yet again, Robertson's speed is a difference maker. And when she's applying that on defense as well, it makes it very hard. Even on plays like that, she's everywhere. She got a block early in the game. She's dove on the floor for loose balls. She's gotten steals, deflections. Her engagement level is high on the defensive end. This SMU defense is a much better defense.
Nelson unable to draw anything there. Jones can slow it up. She's on the verge of getting into double figures. 9 points. Takes it herself in the painted area, swatted away by Nelson. Mavericks can push the pace. Love. Back out to Nelson now. Here's Hayslip. Takes on Pitts. Knocked away by Brown. Gets the ball back. Thornton. Hayslip. Well short of the rim.
And again, SMU's defense has been unrelenting. They have not quit on possessions at all. They're not concerned about the score. They're playing for a bigger picture. TK Pitts contests that late, forces what pretty much was an air ball, and Mavericks have been able to get nothing going. And this is the part for me where I say Love has, as good as she's been this season, averaging 18 points a game, as good as she was to start this game, this is the next step as she plays in more game situations, is having a total impact on the game when things are not going your way. How do you handle that? How can you respond to that? How do you figure out some easier baskets or even just to get stops and rebounds? So can't just do it when things are going your way. And she'll get that going. She's a talented player, and she hasn't played in quite, a whole season off. But coming back, that will be the next step for her as she gets more and more games under her belt.
And Coach Wright had those conversations with Love while they were considering whether to bring her to Arlington. Needed to make sure that Love could meet the expectations that she had, that she'd be able to fit into this Maverick system. Remember, this is somebody that not only had been sitting out for a year, but Coach Wright actually hadn't worked with her for a couple of years since her time at Vanderbilt. So really a lot had changed.
Yeah, credit to Coach Wright giving that opportunity. Credit to Love for making the changes to step up into those expectations. And it's going to be an ongoing process for both of them to kind of find their way. And Peterson, unbelievable. Almost 20 rebounds in this game. All I can say is, are you kidding me?
That is 20 now for Peterson to go along with her 12 points. And Jones can't turn it in to 2 for SMU.
Going for 21 on that one. Picks up the foul, but I mean, we talk a lot about scoring naturally in the game. We talk a lot about whoever puts it in the basket or gets a steal. But to get 20 rebounds in one game, the entire UTA team has 29. That tells you how much of an impact that woman has had on the floor and has absolutely dominated the paint. Shout out to Peterson and the work she's been putting in, because she didn't play last year either, full season off.
Brittingham can't put it back in after the offensive board. Embry on the floor. Tie ball to stay on this end.
And that's when you know things are going well. When you can smile and everyone's jumping on you and you have the ball, and you're just like, y'all think y'all getting this ball from me? Y'all must not know who I am. I'm Shantae Embry.
Peterson to capitalize on what we talked about with her rebounding total. Previous season high was 17. She did that last Friday as SMU beat Lamar by 2. Now against another in-state foe, picking up 20 versus the Mavericks.
Is her career high 22? Do I remember that? Is that correct or am I off? I could be off.
I will find that quickly for you, my friend. I don't see a 22. I think this might be a new career high. Robertson. You have to go back to her time at Fresno State if it's been any higher. This is her best night on the boards with the Mustangs.
Again, more speed in transition. The blur continues. And probably you could probably do an edit of the facial expressions that Robertson makes after some of these plays. Definitely plays with a tremendous amount of emotion. A fan favorite, somebody who's entertaining, and is a high school teammate, by the way, of Perkins from UTA. They both played together at Boswell High School. I was putting that together, and I was like, forgot to mention that.
Robertson now up to 21. She is on pace to become the first Mustang since 2014 to average 20 points or more. Keena Mays did it in that 2013-14 season. 5.5 minutes to go. And Clark puts it down on the double dribble.
And yet you were correct on Peterson. This would be a career high of 20 rebounds. Season high and career high as of now is 17, according to our records. Another milestone achieved.
What an incredible night it has been for her. Helping SMU, as it stands right now, to win a third straight game and enter the ACC SEC Challenge against Missouri with some big-time momentum.
Peterson averaged 14 points and 11 rebounds per game as a junior in high school. So she's been doing this double-double thing for quite some time. Was ranked the number 8 player in Southern California, went to Fresno State. And, of course, this is her 3rd season now with the Mustangs. And she's made a tremendous jump. And I think that goes to say and show a lot about the player development within this program under Coach Wilson and her staff. You see Ella Brow and how she's developed over time. You see TK Pitts and who she's developed to be. And now you're seeing Peterson as well. Players who have been in this program for several seasons. That doesn't happen all the time anymore in college basketball. It's a rarity with the transfer portal and the new day and age. And speaking of the transfer portal, what a prized recruit this young lady has been. We've talked about her a lot. She's one of the top scorers in the country, and she has played both sides of the ball tonight and played very inspired to lead her club.
Now 24 for Robertson. You see a couple of her biggest fans there along the sideline. Under 5 minutes to go. Back outside to Thornton. Brittingham with the offensive board. No good. Still fighting, diving towards that UTA bench. The all-out effort remains for the Mavericks here inside Moody Coliseum, but it does look like SMU will end UTA's winning streak in this series.
So what you want?
The SMU men's soccer team is into the Sweet 16 after beating Washington 2-1. Late goal providing the edge over the Huskies. Mustangs now traveling to Dayton. This is tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 6 Central on ESPN+. It is the 5th Sweet 16 appearance under head coach Kevin Hudson. SMU football, volleyball, and men's soccer all winning American Conference championships last year and transferring that success into their first run through the ACC.
I mean, crushing it. I don't know if it's ever happened quite like this to the program in the first year as a power conference school. has had this kind of success. Now, the football playoff is new, so you couldn't really measure that. But top 10, you could definitely say. So,
yeah. Back to their 1 win away now. The Mustang football team is from claiming a conference championship in year 1. SMU women's basketball trying to get in on the party when they get into conference play. And Robertson still on the floor, now up to 26 points. Her career high is 31.
Yes, it is.
That was with George Washington last year against St. Bonaventure.
21 rebounds as well for Peterson. I love Coach Wilson's reaction. She put her hands up, if you can see her on the sideline, like, hey, I guess they listened out of timeouts after all, and they executed the play we drew up. I mean, you talk about a track athlete. I don't know if we've seen a faster player this season in person, in the end, than Nya Robertson.
Robertson thought about going for more. Instead, opened up. Wow. 8 points now for the Aussie.
8 points, 6 assists, has been getting it done. And again, when this backcourt continues to play with this kind of a playmaking, getting assists, getting stops, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Brittingham turns around, hits from the left side of the free throw line. Brittingham, the heartbeat of this UTA team. If they are going to have success in the WAC this year, it'll be with her continuing to dominate in that conference.
She's got 15 and 12, but she needs help. We'll say it on the microphone. Obviously, Love had 8 points in the first half. Love, we need you in the second half if you're a UTA Mav at home. And then you just need other players to chip in around it. But when you have that kind of a 1-2 punch, that can go a long way. But you need the second punch to be as consistent as well. And that will come over time, and those young ladies playing together, and also under Coach Wright's leadership.
Yeah, they were throwing haymakers early. Brittingham and Love, it looked like it might be enough of a 1-2 punch to come into Moody Coliseum and get a win. But the Mustangs, starting in the second quarter, took over. Now it's a 22-point advantage with 3 minutes left. Here's Love. Her story will only continue to get better as this season goes along. Getting it over to Goodo. She can't make it. Robertson pulls up from 3. Good. 29 for Robertson. 2 points shy of her career high.
Balling out of control. Again, we talked about how tough the schedule is coming up. They know it, and they feel, again, they feel like they are playing their best basketball of the season in these last 2 games.
Goodo fighting on the floor. Mustangs get the rock.
And
Robertson wants it back, Brian.
Well, we talked a little bit about Love in the maturation, and I don't want to beat this point too much, but it's the part about the body language. It's the part about being a good teammate. That last time she did not get back on transition defense when Nya Robertson hit the 3, and Coach was staring at her like, hey, we need you to play the right way.
And Robertson gets pulled from the ball game, likely done for the evening. She'll be 2 points shy of matching that career best. Thought potentially Coach Wilson and the staff would let her stay out and get a couple more shots up.
She will have plenty of opportunities, I can tell you that. Coach Wilson doing the smart decision. Hey, you got time to break records. Right now, we secured this win. We need you resting for the next one.
The next one is the Mizzou Tigers. Next Thursday on a SEC network as the Mustangs travel up to Columbia, Missouri. Off the mark short as UTA looks to trim this big deficit. 27 points here in the late going. Brittingham in the lane. It's good. She has 17 points, 13 boards. Had a double-double in UTA's win at East Texas A&M. Had a triple-double versus Arlington Baptist. Only one of 8 in the country this year.
Yeah, she's a talented player. She's definitely going to lead the way.
Woods throws up, no good. And Brittingham calling for the basketball. Nailson instead gets it to her left side, and Robinson on the line and back to SMU. Perkins checks back in for UT Arlington. Only 74 seconds left at Moody Coliseum. I don't know how many calories we burn sitting here and talking basketball. Not as many as these players have, but it's been a great day after Thanksgiving with you, partner.
Yeah, what an awesome game, and what a great 3 quarters, especially for SMU. And they definitely would like to get that first quarter back. And shout out to the men's basketball program over the Thanksgiving break. Won a championship out in California.
Yeah, taking the Acrisure tournament in Palm Springs, capping it with a win over Washington State. What a great performance that was. Things firing on all cylinders here on the Hilltop.
And a game winner against Cal Baptist in a tight ball game.
Rolling off the rim. Shot clock turned off, and SMU will walk away with the victory. Their first win over UT Arlington since 2007, ending a 4-game losing skid to the Lady Mavs. And the Mustangs can be thankful for a 3rd straight victory heading into a nearly week-long break before the SEC ACC Challenge at Missouri.